Hey guys, so today is Monday, May 4th. This is my third video in the four final videos of this Commonplace book. Um, Part three. This is part three. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about, I guess, the the positives or more like the things that made it um like the main things that made it work for me. I'll talk about both, I guess. So the first part I'll talk about is just like how I got the homeschool thing to work, and how I would do it in the future if I had to. And the second part, I'll make it about like the, I guess the best parts about the Corona thing, even though there weren't too many, I guess. So the first part, I'm going to be talking about how it worked, like how I worked with the homeschool. Um, My first biggest advice would have to be getting on a consistent sleep schedule or just a general schedule. I keep harping on this point, but I think it's really important. Because you just, you know, you don't really work. I think most people don't really work too well if they're just doing whatever, whenever. So it's nice to have dates and have a schedule that you could work off of and keep on. So, I think probably the biggest part is sleeping schedule. Because if you're tired all day, you just get no work done. Um, so yeah, just having like a schedule and definitely like good sleep schedule. I'd say that's the probably first biggest point. I'd say the second biggest thing is probably staying in communication with teachers. I didn't do too well at this, but I think it's probably the key to success because I mean, your teachers are there to help you, and they know what they're doing for the most part. So, if you stay away and you don't really talk to them, you're missing out. Like, you're majorly missing out. So, I think probably the next biggest, or the second biggest thing for homeschool would be staying in contact with teachers in any way, because you don't really get much communication across if it's just, you know, here's my work, I did your assignment. Um, without any like personal comments. So I think Miss Cummings did pretty well about that, because there was a lot of like personal um, projects, I guess, especially like the Commonplace book, obviously. And I would say the biggest thing for online school would just being able to really well balance work and play, because I mean it's just, if you do only work, you just get drained. Like I experience that all the time. Something that should take only a couple minutes takes me hours because I just get drained and I get tired of working and I want to distract myself. And then too much play, you never get any work done. So, but finding a good balance, I think, could be better than like real school if you're able to do it well, online school. So that's what I would say is the biggest thing is balancing your normal life that you live and school, and letting them coexist and I guess communicate. Like I hang out with my friends, but we also talk about homework. So I'd say that's a big one. Biggest one, I mean. So the second part is I guess what worked well about the corona. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but um some positives I guess I'll talk about. So I would say the one of the bigger positives was I'd say one of the stranger positives as my first one would be how it kind of it brought people together. I think now everyone's kind of tired of it, but in the beginning there was a lot of, I mean, everyone was quarantined, so, and everyone for the most part still is quarantined. So it's very weird to have everyone in the nation, even celebrities, be quarantined. like everyone you know is quarantined. So yeah, I think that was kind of a good thing. Is it was very like uniting, basically. Everyone was doing the same thing. Now this is a lesser point. Obviously, I'm having a hard time coming up with the positives, but I do think it's interesting to see how a lot of people were very like humbled by this situation. Um, because you don't expect to have everything taken away from you all of a sudden. At least for a short amount of time for a lot of people. But like, I'd say a lot of people never cared about school, and then suddenly, like, I've seen way more people talk about how they miss school so much they can't wait to get back into school. So I think it definitely humbled people and made a lot of people realize how important just being social is. Like I'm not normally a super social person, but I cannot wait to hang out with people. Like I always like hanging out, but like I want to get out and hang out with other people now. So now I'd say the third and probably biggest positive is a lot of people were able to work on their skills. And even though that sounds kind of weird, I really think it it's like at least had some decent impact on making people realize what their hobbies are and how important they are to them. Because I mean, I've seen a lot of people like bettering themselves out of nowhere just because they have so much time. So I'd say that's one of the bigger positives. You just have so much time to do stuff. You end up doing things you wouldn't expect to do. So that's what I would say one of the biggest positives. All right, so that was today's video. Ne Next video, I'm going to try and sum up everything and add on my Commonplace book. Just talk about my Commonplace book, what I think I did well, what I think kind of fell through. Yeah, hopefully that'll be a big video. I'm gonna turn that one in, and then they're all gonna be in a playlist. You can watch them. Okay, bye.